Hello, welcome back. My name is Michaela. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Wisconsin, and I just snuck a little bit into my classroom for the first time since the last day of school. Hello, welcome back. My name is Michaela. I am a 5th grade teacher in Wisconsin, and I just snuck in to my school to see my classroom for the first time since the last day of school. I walked in and I was actually a little bit shocked at how open and clean it felt. I'm gonna show you in just a second, but I'm gonna tell you a couple things first. If you followed me or watched any of my old videos, you know that I had desks in here, and I think I ended up with 21 kids by the end of the year, so I had 21 desks in this room. On the last day of school, when I was thinking about what I wanted for this next year, and I had to make a little plan and leave it for the custodians on what I wanted after they cleaned it, I made the decision to switch to tables. If you tried tables and they did not work for you, go ahead and let me know why, but I'm actually really excited about it because I feel like desks, while they did give every kid their own space and they had built-in storage, they became a mess, except for the kids that were super organized and clean. Like, they were just full of crap and garbage and food and just like toys and things that were distracting, and it was just too much for me. I also think that desks took up a lot more space because they had like a whole section for each student. I also feel like it was harder to make groups with desks. They just didn't fit together well. I don't really feel like the kids had to cooperate for a space. And so I decided to do tables so that the space itself can't be used as like a place to hoard things. Every single day at the end of the day, the tables can be cleaned off and it would be a lot more organized, in my opinion. I feel like when you have your table group, like that's your group, you cooperate with them, you work together with them, and hopefully that creates a little bit more sense of community than having like your own separate desk. And then I think like the space will work a lot better without all of the desks in the room. I also have no idea how many students I'm gonna have next year, and I don't know if I could have handled putting another desk in here. So yeah, that was my big decision from last year. So I'm gonna show you like what I saw when I walked in, because I was literally like, oh my God, it looks like so clean and nice in here and like such a blank slate, which this is my 2nd year in this classroom. And so it didn't feel like I could have that feeling again. I thought this year was gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna go in and it's gonna be like a boring classroom setup video because I've already like set a lot of things up. But no, it feels so fun and fresh. So I walked in, my carpet area looks pretty much the same, except they put all the chairs that they're gonna use over here. And then I looked around and it's so shiny and clean and just fresh. My desk is all cleaned off. I got chairs over there. It makes me really excited. I did not think that today was gonna make me really excited, but I did. I noticed something weird about the library when I walked in. I looked and I was like, something is off, and I couldn't really figure it out. And I was like, oh, there's like a weird new bookshelf. This one right here, I did not have that. That is not mine. And I was like, why did they take one of my bookshelves? Like, what's going on? And then I realized that one of them probably broke. I had another one very similar to this like brown one over here, and it was like super flimsy, and I bet it broke when they tried to move it. And so they gave me this one, which is actually, I think, bigger and probably can hold more books than the previous one, as you can tell by the empty spaces on the bottom. So I'm actually kind of jacked about it because that bookshelf was crap. So a couple of things I've been thinking about now that I'm moving to tables, and if you guys have any like advice or ideas, please leave a comment and let me know, because it is like, I'm racking my brain and it is like keeping me up at night. I cannot make a decision. So the nice thing about desks is that every kid had their own storage space, right, for all of their stuff. And so the issue with tables is that they don't have that built-in storage. My old school, we did have tables, but the school provided like book bins and like a bunch of storage spaces with bins in them. So like I didn't have to worry about that, but I don't have anything that's already here that I can use for that. They have 3 main subjects they have supplies for, so math, reading, and writing, but then they also have some other subjects that they have like a notebook for, or a folder, or like a workbook for. And then they obviously have like any extra supplies like a pencil box or markers or whatever, like erasers and stuff like that, plus space for books. So that's what they need space for. So I was thinking one option could be that I just get book bins for every kid, which, by the way, why are book bins so expensive? Like, I don't understand. If I got one for every kid, for every subject, it would be like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But that is one option. I've also been thinking about the possibility of getting a larger bin or a crate for each table, and then the kids just share that. And so there might be a table leader at the beginning of the day or beginning of the subject who goes and gets the table supplies for that day. I did do that at my old school where we had tables, but again, like I said, they provided all the book bins and stuff, and I just used several book bins for each subject, and then those tables supplies would go in that book bin, so I just needed less book bins than one for every student. I've seen some stuff online where some teachers have put like stacked these kind of like this underneath the tables at each table, and then that was like the storage space for each table. I don't like that as much because I still would like it to be like organized. Like I want the subjects to be separated from each other, so when we go into math, it's not like they're grabbing all of their supplies. It's like they would only be grabbing their math supplies. So I just don't know what to do about that. And it's okay because it's literally just like the second week of July and I have lots of time. And I actually kind of want to see what the tables look like in here before I make that decision. I did buy 2 bins from Target, some bigger ones that I kind of liked, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with that. So I can return them if I don't like it. The idea that I'm currently leaning towards is to get an individual book bin for each student for reading and writing, so they could put their books and their reading and writing notebooks and folders in there, and then have like a community storage bin for math, and then the other extra stuff. So that's the one I'm like leaning towards right now. But again, book bins are freaking expensive, and I keep trying to find like deals or like places that sell them for a decent price, or they're also in my Amazon wish list. So if you're feeling extra generous today, you could help me out. No pressure, no pressure. But the other issue I'm running into with storage is their stuff, like pencils and like erasers. I guess if I think about it, they don't actually have a lot of stuff that they do need. So if I do community supplies, maybe they don't really need a lot of space. They also have mailboxes that they would put their planner and take-home folder in, that I could also have them be able to put like a pencil box or something in there. My old school had cubbies with bins in there, and that's where they just kept all of those supplies. But again, I don't know. But what have I been up to this summer? I've been working on a lot of stuff outside of school as well as school stuff. I have so many things that I want to get ready for the school year because I want this school year to be super smooth, and like I don't want to have to work a lot outside of school this year. And so I'm using my summer to like get ahead of that stuff, which to me is a really productive use of time. This will be my second year, if that makes sense. My first year was COVID, and so we were wearing masks and we were a hybrid, and it was just weird. So then the next year after that felt like my first year of teaching because it was so different from that first year. Then last year I moved schools, so it felt like I was starting over all over again. And then now this is my first year where I am staying in one spot and things are going to be relatively the same. So I'm actually really, really excited to have that experience. So because of that, I'm able to do all the ideas that I've had throughout the year and like build upon them and actually like improve things instead of feeling like I'm just like flying by the seat of my pants all the time. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to show you a couple other things in the room that I've been thinking about and see if you guys have any ideas, because I might just make this video and make it a really short video as classroom setup day one. Even though I'm not setting anything up, but I do have ideas for setup. So maybe you guys can like chime in and I could actually take your advice before I just go do stuff, because I'd be posting it fairly early in the summer instead of like last minute as things are happening. So as you can see, I have these long bulletin boards that are above like every space in the room. They were not really utilized last year because I have no idea what to put up there. They are such a weirdly shaped space that I'm not really sure what makes sense to go up there. I utilize in my classroom something called intangible drivers, which is like kind of like a personality test, but not a personality test. And I like to talk to the kids about that and like who all of us are in the classroom. And I have posters for those, and I would like to put them up somewhere with like the names of each kid of like who they are. But other than that, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if that's a place you put birthdays. I don't know if putting up birthdays in the classroom even matters, or if that's just dumb and it would never be used. One thing I learned last year, which was my first year having bulletin boards, is that you should put up stuff that you use. A lot of the stuff I put up, I didn't even actually use. So this year I'm really like, I want to put up stuff that I'm going to use or that kids are going to use. The anchor charts I put up, everything like that, I think should be useful. And I don't really feel like this space is conducive to anchor charts either, I guess, unless I like was creative and cut them into small parts. I guess I could do that. That's not horrible. But yeah, any ideas for long, thin rectangle bulletin boards? would be greatly appreciated, as well as like what's a good literacy bulletin board. The one I have in the library right now says books we love, and then it has clothespins, and the kids had like little review cards that they could review books. But again, the kids never used that. I didn't really encourage it. Like I kind of forgot about it after a while. So it just became like a waste of space. And I would rather not have wastes of space in here. I thought about changing it to like a words we love bulletin board, because my school is very big on like vocabulary and like word work. We have to come up with our own word lists and stuff like that. So I thought about doing that. And when kids find like an interesting word in a book, we could have some kind of procedure where they like look it up, find the definition, whatever, and then like put it up on the board. And then I could like pull words from there for our vocabulary lists. But that was really the only idea I had so far, because I haven't thought about it that much. Anyway, that's all for now. That's all I have to say. I am excited to come back in here when the tables are here. That's honestly probably the next time I'll be here. I won't come in before that because I don't know what else I would do. But again, please, 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 if you have ideas, I would love to hear your ideas. I would accept any help from any of you. And if you want to stick around to see the rest of my classroom setup journey, please subscribe. I would love you for it. But otherwise, have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.